Just prior to 6 p.m. on the 8th of September, the Queen's private secretary, Sir Edward Young, made a call to British Premier Liz Truss with the words, "London Bridge is down." This set in motion a series of events planned for years that would take place upon the Queen's passing. This information would have been passed down to the 15 countries in which she was head of state and the 38 nations of the Commonwealth. A press statement was then put out at 6:30 p.m. to the UK Press Association and media across the globe, triggering an alarm at the BBC for national emergencies. But what happens next? Well, on the first day after the passing of the Queen, the new monarch alongside the Queen Consort will travel to London. Church bells across the country will begin to toll in commemoration of the Queen. All Union flags at public buildings will be lowered to half-mast, with gun salutes consisting of one round for each year of the Queen's life, ringing out across the nation. The House of Commons, led by Liz Truss, will meet and pay tribute to the late Queen. Meanwhile, Charles will meet with the Earl Marshal to approve funeral plans. This will begin a period of royal mourning for members of the royal family, which will be observed for up to 7 days after the funeral. A meeting of the Privy Council will take place in preparation of the accession of the new monarch. A period of national mourning will begin, which is likely to include a public holiday for the Queen's funeral. The new monarch will then give a televised address to the nation, where he will pay tribute to the Queen and pledge his duty to service. Over the coming days, many sporting events will be postponed in honour of the Queen. There will be a second meeting of the Privy Council, with the new King sworn in. After this, Union flags will temporarily go up to full mast, once the proclamation of the new sovereignty is announced. The Queen's coffin will then be taken by road to the Palace of Holyrood in Edinburgh, followed by a vigil performed by members of the royal family. Charles will then begin Operation Springtide and visit Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland as the new monarch. The Queen's coffin is expected to be flown back to London, where the Archbishop of Canterbury will conduct a short service following the coffin's arrival. The Queen's funeral is expected to take place at Westminster Abbey. The coffin will proceed on a gun carriage, pulled by rope rather than by horses, with the military lining the roads and the coffin followed by members of the royal family. The service will be televised and a national 2-minute silence is expected to be observed. After the service, the Queen's coffin will be taken back to St George's Chapel at Windsor Castle for another televised service, prior to a private service for senior royals. The Queen's final resting place will be an annex to the main chapel, beside her sister, mother, father and her late husband, whose coffin will be moved to join hers.